Hi everyone, my name is Monique.
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
And today we're going to be doing a two-player playthrough of a game that is currently on Kickstarter called Shrine Duel of Light.
Yes, this game is designed by Richárd Ámann and published by Bright Horizon Games, who are helping sponsor this playthrough. Now in this game, players are going to be taking on the roles of explorers who are trying to unlock the secrets and treasures of a sacred ruin. And we're going to do this by competing in the Duel of Light.
That's right. This is a two-player only dueling abstract strategy game in which players will be taking turns placing colored lenses on an LED lit board in order to match the colors on our own secret codes. And so today, as per usual, we're going to start with a quick teach of the game and we'll go straight into a two-player playthrough. If you'd like to jump around, we'll include timestamps in the description below.
Now, if you are interested in this campaign, there's a link in the description which you can check out at your leisure. And lastly, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing.
And with that, we are ready to begin. So if you'd please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for a two-player game of Shrine Duel of Light.
Yes.
Welcome to the Sacred Ruin.
There it is.
And so like we're mentioning, in this game, we are explorers who have come across this sacred ruin, but in order to gain its secrets and treasures, we need to complete our own secret code. And so during setup, players are going to be given a code card that looks something like this. This is an example of one that we are not going to be using. And it basically shows a unique combination of both primary colors as well as secondary colors that will appear on this board. Now, the way the game works is starting with the first player, players will be alternating taking turns drawing an arcane lens from the bag. And these lenses are going to be in one of the three primary colors, which are blue, red, or yellow. And we'll be placing them on the illuminated board adjacent to one of the four dials here in order to try to match our specific code by the end of the game. And basically, at the end of the game, for each color that matches on the main board, you'll gain a certain amount of treasure. And at the end of the game, it's going to be whoever has the most treasures wins. Now, there's a little bit more to the game than that, such as these different treasure powers that we'll be able to use, but that is the general concept of the game.
So over the course of the game, we're of course going to want to be changing out these colors to meet our own criteria for scoring at the end of the game.
Right, because we are going to have different unique codes. And by the way, the game comes with an additional module that is optional, but we will be playing with it today. So then, let's go ahead and talk about the specifics of a turn. And so each player is going to have two different player aids that are going to be quite handy because it shows all of the different combinations of the secondary colors that you can create using the primary colors, which is going to be very handy. And so on your turn, you'll always start by refilling the offering. And this is by grabbing a lens from out of the bag and placing it in the offering space, which is right there. Then you'll unlock one of your 6 treasure powers here. And so at the start of the game, each power comes with 1 or 2 treasures on it already, which basically just means it's blocked. You can't take the ability yet. And we'll explain what each of the powers allows you to do. They basically just allow you to break the rules so that you can place your lenses more strategically on the board. And so during this step, you'll just choose one of them and unlock it by placing the treasure back into the supply, not in your personal supply.
You don't get to keep them.
You don't get to keep it, but you do start the game with 4 treasures to use. Then you'll decide to either place the arcane lens that's in the offering, or you can choose to pass. Now, if you choose to place the lens, you're going to take it and you must choose one of the flipped up dials, placing it adjacent to where the arrow is pointing. And so each dial is adjacent to 3 different fields. Now, during this part of your turn, you can choose to optionally rotate the dial by 1 space for free. So if I wanted to, instead of placing this lens here, I could place it on this space. But when doing so, the free part only allows you to rotate it by 1 space. So I could not, for example, place it here if the arrow had started in this position. That is considered to be 2 spaces, and you would need to use one of your treasure powers for that. Now, during this step, you can also choose to activate as many of your treasure powers as you are able to or as you'd like. And again, we'll go over what all of them do later. But once you're finished placing out your lens, then you'll always end your turn by deactivating the dial that you used. So in this example, because I placed my arcane lens next to this dial, I will deactivate it now by flipping it face down, and you're actually supposed to maintain the orientation
I gotcha.
of the arrow.
It's like this.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Because now the next player cannot use that dial when placing out their lens. They have to use one of the other activated dials.
Yeah, so that's considered inactive, so therefore you can't use it, but there is a power that can break that.
Yes.
Which we'll go over in a little bit.
Now let's just say we've taken a couple of turns and a couple of these dials have been deactivated. Then at the end of your turn, if after deactivating your dial, all 4 of the dials are now deactivated, then you actually reactivate the other 3 that you did not just use. So these other 3 would get flipped up, but this one would still stay flipped down. And typically after deactivating your dial, then play would proceed to the next player. Now, another thing to keep in mind is each of these fields can only hold up to 2 arcane lenses. So as you'll see, our codes are going to contain some secondary colors, which you'll need to combine primary colors in order to create. And so as an example, if I had a purple color on this field on my code, then I would need to place a red next to a blue in order to create that color. And so another thing to consider is that each field can only have at most 2 lenses stacked on top of each other.
Right.
And these 2 lenses, by the way, can be the same primary color because as you'll see, that will score you more points. Now, before we talk about the treasure powers, I just want to mention that at the end of your turn, if ever the dial that you just used now no longer has any usable fields because all 3 adjacent fields either contain 2 lenses on them already or they contain a block token, which we'll talk about in a second, then that dial actually gets removed from the board because you can't place any more lenses there. And it gets placed on the topmost spot on this track here. The player who placed the dial gains that many treasures, so 2 treasures in this case, and as soon as the 3rd one is placed, that ends the game. And just so you know, at the end of the game, we are going to score all of our matching fields according to our code, depending on if it's a primary color match, a double primary color match, which is again 2 of the same primary color stacked on top of each other, or a secondary color match. And it's going to score us between 1 and 3 pieces of treasure per matching field on our code. In addition, some fields will have a darkened outline that is considered to be a target, and these are worth more because if you're able to match them at the end of the game, then they'll score you 2 additional treasures. And finally, the player who has the largest contiguous area that matches on their code, and that's going to be orthogonally adjacent, gains an additional 4 treasures. But they have to have the outright most, because in the case of a tie, nobody gains that bonus. So as an example, if at the end of the game, I was able to match this green field here perfectly on the board, then I would gain a total of 5 treasures, because it is 3 treasures since it's a secondary color, plus an additional 2 for it being a target space. And that's how scoring at the end of the game will work. Now going back to a player's turn, on your turn, instead of placing an arcane lens, if you decide that you can't or you don't want to, because maybe you don't want to place the color that's in the offering, then you can choose to pass, which you can actually only do twice total in the entire game. Anytime you choose to pass, you're going to take a pass token and place it on your board. The second time you choose to do it, you'll cover up the second space, and at the end of the game, you will have to pay a penalty of 1 treasure. And another important thing to keep in mind is if on your turn, you cannot take any turns, you cannot pay for any treasure powers to use, and you can no longer pass, then you immediately lose the game.
Not good.
So do not put yourself in that position. Fortunately, the treasure powers are quite flexible, so as long as you keep some treasure on hand, then you can at least try to utilize them.
But remember, when you spend treasure, you're spending points in this game.
That is true. So hopefully the treasure that you spend gives you more value back.
Right.
So let's go ahead and go over the 6 different treasures on your board, starting with the top left. Taking this power allows you to rotate your chosen die by 1 more space.
Yeah, so naturally you get 1 rotation, but if you do that, then you can go ahead and do it a second time.
Yes, so you can basically reach any of the 3 adjacent fields next to that arrow. And taking this power costs 1 treasure. So some powers cost 1, some cost up to 2, and some cost straight up 2. So some of them are a little bit more expensive.
So key concept in the game is you cannot take the depicted action if it already has a token on it.
Right.
If it's completely empty, that's when you can take it.
Yes, and that is why you are unlocking one of these powers at the start of each of your turns. This next power allows you to change the lens in the offering if you don't like that color. So say, for example, I pulled the blue lens, but I don't want to put out a blue. Maybe I want to put out a new one. For 1 treasure, I can draw a new lens from the bag randomly, and as long as it's not blue, then I can replace it with that one. If I still don't like that color, then I can pay a 2nd treasure to just get the color lens that I want from the bag.
Yeah, so she could just call, okay, I'm going to dig in and find red, and actually take that one.
Or yellow, I guess it would be in this case, and then the other 2 would go back in the bag. This power here allows you to choose a deactivated dial when placing out your arcane lens. So if that was deactivated, but I really want to place it in one of these 3 fields, I can place a treasure to activate this power. Now, it costs 1 treasure if you're going to place out a single lens on an empty field, but if it's going to be the 2nd lens on that field, then it actually costs 2 treasure.
Yeah, so you got to really fill it up. So that's 2 points to do that, but it could be very, very important. Now, you do get the 1 free rotation in addition to that, though, with this.
And again, keep in mind, you can take as many of these treasure powers as you're able to on your turn. So if you wanted to really place it maybe over here, then you can utilize this power first to do the full rotation, and then use this power to place it adjacent to a deactivated dial. Now moving on to this power over here, this allows you to place out a block token on a field that doesn't already have one, scoring the field immediately. So this is the only ability that allows you to score treasures mid-game. But because players only have 3 block tokens, you can only take this power up to 3 times during the entire game. Now, the amount of treasures you have to pay depends on which field you're going to be blocking. So if it's going to be one of the 8 outer fields, then it only costs 1 treasure. If it's one of the middle 4, then it costs 2 treasure to activate this power. And again, you would place the block token on top of the stack, and then you would score it immediately as per the endgame scoring rules. But when doing this, you will not score that field again at the end of the game. It'll still count towards your contiguous largest grouping, but you just don't get to score that field again.
Yeah, and so let's say this had that target symbol on it, and Monique did this, then she would get 1 point for the color, plus another 2 points for the target, and she would get that right away from the supply.
Right, so that is a nice way for you to gain more treasures so that you can activate more abilities. And when doing this, by the way, you don't reveal your code or anything like that. We sort of just have to trust you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, we are going to verify whether or not that was truly the matching color on your code. And if you happen to be incorrect, then you have to pay a penalty of 6 treasures.
Yeah,
so
not
you better
good.
be sure.
Don't do that. And again, the block token on there will not allow it to be manipulated, so we can see it at the end of the game.
All right, moving on to the next treasure power. This is the overwrite ability, which allows you to first remove a lens from a field that you're going to place your new lens on top of. So let's just say, for example, I really needed this field to be yellow, but instead it's blue, and I want to place my lens there. For 1 treasure, as long as the field only has 1 lens, I can first remove it and then place my lens there. As long as I'm completely overwriting it, you know, it has to be where I'm actually going to place my lens.
Yep.
Now, had this lens been in a stack of 2, then it would actually cost me 2 treasures to remove one of the lenses in the stack.
And you can choose which one of the 2.
Right. And finally, we have the most expensive ability here, which costs 2 treasure powers to activate, but this allows you to relocate a lens from one field to another field. So when taking this power, you're not going to be placing the lens that's in the offering. But of course, you must still respect placement rules, etc. It's just a very sort of powerful move because you're doing 2 things at once, right? You're changing one field and then manipulating another. All right, and those are all of these 6 different treasure powers. Now, the last 2 things are on your turn. You can also unlock more than 1 treasure power if maybe you need to use 2 of them that are blocked, and it's really going to sort of save your game. And you do this by removing one of your 2 feathered serpent tiles. Now, when you unlock the first one, it allows you to unlock a second treasure ability. When unlocking the second one, you can basically unlock a third, or you can wait for a later turn to unlock 2 abilities, but you can only do this twice in the entire game. And similar to the pass action here, if you remove the second token, it's going to come at a cost of 1 treasure at the end of the game. So just keep that in mind. Now, the last thing is if you are ever in need of treasure, you can take debt. So up to 3 times during the game, you can just take 2 treasures and take one of these debt tokens. But at the end of the game, you'll have to pay it back with 1 additional. So you'll have to pay 3 treasure tokens for each of the debt tokens you took.
50% interest.
That's right. So make sure it was worth it. But that is essentially it. Like we were mentioning, as soon as the 3rd dial gets placed, that triggers the end of the game, and we all go into endgame scoring. We reveal our codes, we score all our fields, and we pay any of our penalties if we incur them.
Yep.
Now, the last thing before we get started is we are going to be playing with the optional Radiant Shape modules, which basically gives each player these different shape configuration cards that we're going to be trying to match on the board. And there are actually 4 different sizes of shapes. This is an example of a size 2 shape, and players will start the game with 1 of each size in our hands. And all we're trying to do with these cards is match the configuration on the board. And these configurations can be rotated, they can be flipped, they can be mirrored. But going back to this card, let's just say we have the matching red and the yellow in that moment. At the end of your turn, you can complete 1 of your cards from your hand. But when doing so, you must sort of prove it. So we each have these proof tiles that represent our codes, basically. And when completing a card, I have to place out the proof tokens on my proof board so that we can confirm that I wasn't lying at the end of the game.
If you were, it's -6.
It's going to be -6, just like the regular board.
Yep. Yeah, so these colors here, these are not yellow. This is just saying that in that configuration, that is correct.
You have to have these matching fields that are matching your code. So it would be matching because I can sort of turn the card like this, and that would be a configuration on my board. And when doing so, I gain a reward. So it's either going to be in treasures or unlocking a treasure ability plus additional treasures depending on the size. So the bigger the size, the better the reward.
Yes.
Some cards will also let you draw additional cards, but that is basically how these work. Now, if in the future, as long as this stays true, I want to still use these two lenses as a part of a future configuration, each time you complete a shape, you have to add at least one color token to your proof board. So you have to basically use at least one field that hasn't been used yet.
Right.
And that's essentially the main part of this module. It sort of just gives us more goals to focus on and more ways to gain additional treasure.
But again, by doing this, Monique is telegraphing to me that yellow and red are in those positions.
Yes.
So if I want to use some of my powers to manipulate that, that could be very useful information.
Exactly. He will know now, unless he has these colors in those fields as well, he will know that he probably wants to change them.
Yes.
Now, when playing with this module, these feathered serpent tokens have an additional use. You can use them, instead of using them basically to unlock an additional treasure power, you can use them to complete a shape, ignoring one field. Also, at the start of your turn, during the step where you unlock a treasure power, you can instead choose to draw 2 cards from one of the decks, choosing one to keep and placing the other one to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, so that's not using these serpent tiles. That is actually just not unlocking at the start of your turn.
Right. And that's essentially it. Everything else we'll be demonstrating as we play the game. So we're just going to go ahead and get cleaned up and we'll get started with our playthrough.
Okay, we are all set up. We have 4 of these shape cards as well as our own secret code. So this is very secret. You mustn't know.
Now, we're going to be having you follow my code, I guess, if you can remember it.
Yeah.
So this is what my code looks like. Hopefully, I can do my best to try to match that on the board without Naveen sort of ruining my plans.
I'm going to try.
And other than that, all we need to do now is see who goes first.
Yes.
Now, technically, when you play this game, you should be seated across from each other so that one player is closer to the moon glyph and the other the sun. So, Naveen, which one do you want to be, sun or moon?
I'll be the sun glyph.
Sun glyph, okay. Here, you want to flip this token?
I'm going to flip it. Okay, so we have a sun side and we have a moon side.
Yeah.
Heads up is...
So your sun?
I'll be the sun. So
Okay.
whatever side lands face up, you're first player.
Yes.
It is sun.
So Naveen is the first player, which is kind of great for me because the tiebreaker goes to the player who did not go first.
You need another advantage, huh? Okay.
All right.
All right.
Naveen,
Take it away.
please take it
I should
away.
probably study my card.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start my turn by first refilling the offering from this bag. Let's see what we
Yes.
get. This will kind of make a decision point for me. So we have yellow coming in.
So all 4 dials are active.
They are. I get to now unlock a treasure.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and just unlock the extra rotation.
Okay.
Why not? I don't get to keep this. This does not come to my
No.
supply. No embezzling.
No, that's Naveen
Somebody
does that
might have done that.
many a time.
Can't name names.
So
There
it
you go.
goes into the supply. Now, one thing I just want to keep in mind is this holder here does not come with the base game from what I understand. I think this is like a campaign exclusive.
We'll add on.
If you're curious about that, then just check out the campaign.
So now I can optionally rotate one of those dials. I will not do that. I'm
Okay.
just going to go ahead and take this and place it in. And I will not be using any powers.
Oh, okay. So then that's it.
That's it. So we
Clean
deactivate
turn.
that
So now you deactivate this dial
on its access.
because it's been
Perfect.
used.
There you go.
And that ends your turn.
That's it.
So now it goes to me.
Yep.
I'm going to now start. The first couple of turns are very straightforward because we're starting to just sort of seed the board.
Yeah.
And now I've pulled a red arcane lens. I think, well, first of all, I think I'm cheating.
Nope.
So I do need to place a treasure here
Yes.
to block it. Can you ask me that?
Such a cheater.
I forgot to clean up my board here.
Yep.
I think I'm going to unlock this treasure power.
Okay.
So this is the one that allows you to block a field and score it. So then I'm going to go ahead and place out this red lens. I'm going to place it next to this dial. I'm going to do the free rotation first, and now I can place it right there. And that is it. I'm not going to take that one treasure power ability yet.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn. So that goes back to you.
All right. Let's go ahead and refill.
Yes.
So let's see what we got. We got another yellow.
Okay.
Got to get clever here. Okay. I'm going to unlock this ability to utilize the flipped over or inactive dials because they're going to start happening. So there you go.
It's true.
And I'm just going to place this yellow out here with no rotation.
Okay.
Not going to rotate.
So that's it. Go ahead and deactivate the dial.
Yes. So now, after Monique utilizes this one, then these 3 will flip up.
Right. If I choose to.
If you choose to.
So
You
I
could
could
pass.
unlock this treasure power and use that.
You could also pass.
I could also pass. I will not be passing.
I make that
but
joke like in all of our gameplays, but you can literally pass.
You can
this
literally
time.
pass twice.
Okay.
Total of twice. All right.
Blue.
So I'm refilling the offering. I'm going to unlock this treasure power as well because that is a very useful one.
You do want to do that, huh?
So I don't think I'm going to be placing it next to this dial.
Okay.
So I'm going to punt that onto you. Instead, I'm going to use one of my treasure powers now.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the one I just unlocked.
Okay.
So again, I pay 1 treasure if it's going to be placed on an empty field and 2 treasures if it's going to become a stacked field.
Yep.
So I'm just going to place 1 treasure for now.
Empty field.
I'm choosing this dial and I can still do the free rotation. So I'm going like that.
Oh.
I'm going to place it there.
You want to do that, huh?
All right. That is it.
Interesting.
So now it goes to you, Naveen, and you will now potentially
Which is fine.
use that dial.
Potentially set it up.
Yeah,
All right,
set it up.
Let's see what we got here. Let's get a red. We have a red.
Okay. Which one would you like to unlock? And again, you can, instead of unlocking, you can choose to draw additional shapes, but I think we're still a little bit early for
Still
that.
trying to figure it out. I'm going to unlock this one, the
Okay.
ability to lock out something. So there we go.
Okay.
Then I'll just go ahead and place this red right where it belongs on that arrowed spot. So we're going to go and flip this over. So now that was the last one. All 3 of these are going to flip up relative to their positions.
Right. They maintain their
on their
orientation.
axis.
Okay. And that's the end of your turn, right?
Yep.
All right. So now it goes back to me. So turns are fairly quick
can be, yeah.
until the board starts filling up. And you start having AP because you want to use multiple treasure powers
You do.
to do something clever. Okay, so that's a blue one. I think I'm going to unlock this ability,
Yep, rotating.
the rotating one. And then I think I'm going to place it out here. So this is now a filled field, I guess, or you can't place any more lenses here because there are 2 lenses that are stacked on that field.
So was that yellow and blue made
It's
green?
yellow and blue has made a secondary color. It is now green. So you can still use your treasure powers to remove lenses from that.
Yep.
But as long as there are 2 lenses there, nobody can place additional lenses. So that is it for my turn.
Okay, let's see what we got.
there you go.
All right, so now it's getting a little dicey here. Right?
You didn't like that.
Well, we'll see. No, I don't know.
Yours is not green.
I'm not saying blue.
I have a feeling here.
No. I'm just saying things are starting to open up and close
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
And okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take the blue.
Okay.
Oh, let me first unlock one of
yes.
these. So let's go ahead and unlock this ability.
Yeah, it's important that you remember this step
Yes.
because or else you're going to short yourself.
Totally. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and put this on, and let's go ahead and create a purple here.
Oh.
Flip this about. There we are.
Really interesting. Okay, so now it goes to me.
Bag.
I'm going to go ahead and refill the offering. We have
Yellow.
yellow. Okay, what am I going to do with yellow? And I'm going to unlock this one
Okay.
because I would like to use it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to spend
draw
the
from the
treasure
bag?
power to draw from the bag. 'Cause
You
I
don't care about yellow.
I don't care about yellow. So I'm going to pull,
Red or blue is what you're looking for.
yes. So as long as this is red. So I can place out the red
Instead of the yellow.
or I can pay a second treasure to just find the blue basically.
Is that what you're looking for?
Honestly, I think I don't mind the red.
Okay.
So this is going to go back in the bag.
Yep.
And I'm going to rotate this dial this way and place it there. All right. So that's the end of my turn. So now that rotates, these get
These all flip up.
reactivated.
Okay, what can I do?
Okay, here you go, Naveen.
All right, let's see what we got. Come on, something good. Red, is that good? Let's find out. So I'm gonna unlock this space here.
Okay. So it's a 2 treasure spot.
2 treasure
If
spot.
you want to use it, you have to pay 2 treasures. It's very expensive.
Not at this junction.
Okay. Where would you like to place red?
I know. Well, I'm gonna
It's getting hard.
go ahead and just stack them up. I'm
Oh,
gonna rotate that, flip that down.
interesting.
No rotation with it.
All right. So now it goes back to me. And I'm going to refill the offer. So I have blue.
Sounds like you wanted blue earlier.
I did. No.
I don't know, because you did the
I
whole
was fine with the red.
grab the bag, yeah.
I'm going to unlock this treasure power so that I can use it.
Okay.
Actually. So I'm going to pay 1.
It's a lot of
Oh, I have to pay 2.
token. Ooh,
Oh my gosh. I'm going to go into debt. This is not usual, but I think I'm going to go into
you're
debt.
going hard.
I'm going. So I'm going to pay 2.
Okay.
2 treasures so that I can stack this on top of here.
Oof,
And then
little perps.
I'm going to go into debt. So I'm
Oh,
taking 2. I have
You're
2
gonna gain 2.
tokens. I'm going to have to pay 1
Oh,
additional
you're trying
treasure.
to
at
lock
the end
in
of the
that
game. That's
purple.
not that bad if you think about it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use this ability here. So this is the blocking ability. It's 1 treasure again if it's going to be one of the outer fields, and 2 treasures if it's one of the inner fields.
Sure.
I'm going to pay 1 treasure because I would like to block this stack, seeing as things are getting pretty dicey already.
So you're not going to rotate that thing, right? Yeah.
No,
Earlier, yeah.
This is where I'm going.
Okay.
And I want to do this now because things are starting to get changed and switched and stuff. So I get to score this immediately. You're going to have to believe me on this. We're going to check. We're going to validate if this is a truth or a lie at the end of the game.
She's basically saying on her card, this is a purple.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. And I'm also saying that it's a targeted space.
Okay.
So now, again, if it's a secondary color, you gain 3 treasures. If it's a targeted space, it's an additional 2. So this is going to gain me 5.
All right, which you have to pay back 3 at the end game. So, okay.
Yeah.
3.
But it at least gives me
4, 5.
that 1, 2, 3. I need 2 more.
So you have 6 total?
So I have 6 total.
Okay.
So hopefully that was worth it. And then, now that it's the end of my turn, I'm going to complete our first shape card. So I've completed a size 3 shape. It is in this sort of corner configuration.
Okay.
And I'm saying that it's looking like this. Oh, like this.
Like that.
Sorry, like that.
So green, purple, blue.
Green, purple, blue.
Okay.
So I'm placing those colors on my board here because at the end of the game, this is going to be validated, and now Naveen knows some information about my secret code.
They're 3 orthogonally adjacent, so that's not good.
This is now blocked, so that's going to be there
Yep.
forever. Now I do gain a reward. I can take either 2 treasures or 1 treasure and unlock a treasure ability, and I get to draw a card from the size 3 deck. I'm going to take 2 treasures.
2 treasures.
So that is,
Good.
I think
that was a good debt.
I think I'm okay with not unlocking a second ability right now, and it gains me a card. So I have an additional size 3, which is nice.
Okay.
All right, that is the end of my turn.
All right.
So now it goes back to you. Hopefully that debt was worth it.
I mean, you got a lot. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you kind of want to make.
Like it.
You want your money to make more money for you, not the other way around.
Sure, like life. There you go, red.
It's always a concern.
Well, I'm gonna unlock this one thing. This is the last thing. I gotta start using these, huh?
You gotta start using them.
Yeah.
Your treasure powers are all completely unlocked.
Yeah.
So you can do some powerful.
I'm definitely thinking about how I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna spend one of my tokens to draw from the bag.
Okay.
See something else. All right, let's go ahead and draw another color. We have yellow. Okay, so we'll stop there.
Okay.
And I think with that yellow.
So this goes back in the bag
goes back
because you're gonna put out the yellow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll put out the yellow.
Okay.
I'll use this dial here.
Okay.
Turning it this way.
Okay.
And placing that yellow onto this slot. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and deactivate this one.
All right. So it goes back to me. Let's see what we have. Is that red?
Red.
Red. Okay. I'm just going to keep it simple for now, and I will use this dial. So I'm going to do the free rotation and place the red here.
Okay.
Okay, so now this gets deactivated.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Okay. I almost shorted myself.
Oh, yeah, unlock something.
I have to unlock something. I'm going to unlock this one.
Okay.
All right.
So that there.
All right, so I deactivated that.
These all flip.
These ones all flip.
Okay.
And this one. All right. Here you go, Naveed. It's back to you.
Okay. So let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and put one out. There's yellow.
So the board is filling, but we're still not close.
No.
Because each field can hold up to 2.
Yeah. So now I'm going to unlock this here.
Okay.
Okay. So I will do 1 free rotation.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend, unfortunately, 1 here to rotate this like
Again.
that. And then I'll put this yellow out on there.
Oh, okay.
And then with that completed, I finished this one right here. So this basically says you want this configured almost like a classic Tetris piece.
Okay, so this is a 2 shape.
Yeah, 2 shapes.
So it's really just these 2 ends that you care about. These ones can be any color.
So I'm saying,
So you're saying that's
red, yellow.
And that's yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the 1 point. I need points.
The one treasure.
Yeah, the 1 treasure point. There you go. Okay,
very nice.
so that's out.
So this just gets completed.
Yeah.
And don't forget to flip over the dial.
Yes.
So
okay.
now it goes back to me.
Go.
And now I know a little bit more information about Naveen's code.
You do.
So we shall see. We shall see what stays. All right, so I have a red. And I'm going to go ahead and unlock this ability.
Okay.
Because I think I'm going to use it. So I have to draw from the bag. Unfortunately.
Okay. So yellow or blue?
Yeah, yellow or blue. Hopefully I get what I need.
Yellow.
Okay, this is yellow, which means I have to spend another treasure, and I'm just going to take a blue.
Getting blue.
It's so unfortunate. Such misfortune in that draw. All right, so there's the blue. I'm going to also use this power. So this is very expensive,
Okay.
which I'm now thinking was maybe a waste.
Okay.
But I've already come this far, so I'm going to rotate this
rotate.
all the way
Oh.
and turn that green.
Green?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So that I can now fulfill. I had tunnel vision for this card. So
Probably pretty good. Whatever
it's
you
not.
did.
I mean,
Oh,
I
that's
spent
great.
3. I spent 3 to do this.
Okay.
I didn't think I would need to spend that
Are
additional
you
one.
taking 2 or 3?
But it's this
Yeah.
configuration here. So it's
Okay.
green, purple, blue, and green.
Green, huh?
So I do have to give that information.
Do you want 3 coins or do you want 2 coins and a pull off?
That is a good question. I'm wondering if I should gain. Oh, I see. To pull off another ability. Ooh, good question. Because my abilities are pretty. They're all pretty blocked. So just gain 2,
2?
and then I will remove this one.
Okay. And you already flipped over that.
I did. Yes.
Dial.
So this is complete. That goes out. Now it's back to you.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh boy. All right. Here we go. Let's see. We got blue. Okay. What can we do with this?
So you only have one ability to
do, yeah.
unlock.
So we'll unlock
and this is
that.
the only dial available as well.
Yeah.
So do what you will.
Okay. I'm unfortunately going to have to spend a couple of these tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one here
Okay.
to kick this out. So that's getting kicked out.
Yes.
All right. And then with this, I'm going to go ahead and place out into this location here.
Okay.
With the blue. And I'm
the
not going to
blue.
rotate.
Okay.
All right. And then
This goes back in the bag.
I think I've completed one of these. So I have this one here. Now this
Okay.
one requires 1, 2, 3, but I'm going to
straight
use
line.
one of these tokens here
Oh.
to say I did not complete one of these.
Okay.
So I'm going to omit this one here, and I'm going to make it so that my blue is there. So in this straight line right here, we have,
This here?
yep,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So yellow, blue, and you still have to disclose the
Oh,
third one.
what that color is right there?
Yeah, you still
want
have
to
to
know?
disclose what the color is. You
Alright.
it just doesn't have to be correct on the board.
Blue.
It's another blue. Oh no.
Yeah, when you was this purple?
Yeah.
It was almost there.
It was almost there.
And then you had that red there.
Well, I guess it was
early
that,
on.
actually,
Yeah. Well,
that
I would have to
was
remove
there.
the red somehow. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm definitely going to want to take 2 back.
2 treasure. Okay.
Yeah.
So you completed this.
Going to-
Though.
I did complete something.
Very nice.
I can draw a card.
Oh yes, this treasure lets him draw specifically a
Yeah.
card from any of the decks.
I'll take a
So
3.
3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And notice that the two shape
It's
are not
gone.
actually in the game. So you only get dealt them during setup.
Right.
So which one did you place, by the way?
This blue one right here.
And you use the deactivated dial.
That's why I did that. Yeah.
Ah,
So I had to
okay.
kick you out of there to then use the deactivated dial.
All
to
right,
be able
so
to do
I'm
that.
still using this one.
You are.
All right, may I have the bag,
Yeah.
please? So then it goes back to me. I'm placing your red lens back.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to shuffle it up. Okay. So I have red.
Okay, red.
I just returned that. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and unlock this ability. Now I think I'm just going to take a simple turn.
Okay,
So this is the dial that is available. I'm going to turn it that way
red.
and place it there.
Okay, so everything flips over.
All right. So that is that. We reactivate these dials.
Activations.
It is now back to you, and our fields are very tight.
Ah,
There's some stress in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get these colors into position. Okay,
Okay, red.
red. So what would you like to unlock?
All right, so let's go ahead and unlock this one
That
right
one?
here. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, so that's gonna go there. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and boot you out of
Oh.
this spot here.
Okay,
So that goes bye-bye. We're just gonna keep that off to the side.
and you're gonna place that red
And then
one
I
there.
will rotate in and then place this red one in here.
Okay.
And this will rotate down, and then I think I've completed a card.
Because again, overwriting requires you to place that tile
Yep.
where you booted
Yeah.
out.
Said
okay.
booted.
So
All right.
where the said
so
booted took
I
place.
think I've done this. So this one is going to be an L shape.
Okay.
And it's going to be, I'll go to this here. It looks like that, but it's going to be inverted.
So where is it on the board?
It is blue, red, red.
Okay.
Blue, red, red.
So it's a boot shape
Yeah.
that's
you can invert.
mirrored,
Yep,
basically.
mirrored, yep.
And this color didn't matter.
Right.
So you just needed to reveal these 3, and
Exactly.
you revealed an extra
This
color.
is the one right there. Yep.
Okay, so you gain 2 treasures or 1 treasure and unlock.
We're going to take 2 treasures as they are points.
All right.
I will take them.
Look at you.
I'm trying.
And you've already deactivated your dial, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then it goes back to me. And I am going to place a blue. Oh, where? And I'll unlock this one.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to spend a treasure
Okay.
to use a deactivated dial. So I'm going to rotate this way.
Okay.
Put the blue there.
Slotting a blue.
And I think I've completed a shape card. So this is a size 2.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to mirror it.
Okay. So it's
So
inverted. It's like flipped on
It's flipped, yeah. So it's the blue, and then I think this is how the shape goes: blank, blank,
Purple.
purple.
Yeah.
So I already know that I have purple here.
Right,
so
right, right.
now I'm going to place a blue proof there.
Makes sense.
It's just one treasure.
One treasure. Get it back.
Very,
A point is a point.
very simple, but I guess it's still, a treasure back from what I had to
was
spend
good,
to put
yeah.
that there. All right. That is me. Back to you.
Back to me. All right, let's draw something nice for me. What do we got? We have red.
All right.
Is red good?
So you have two. You have two active tiles here.
So I'm going to go ahead and remove
Okay.
from here. So I'm going to take this off.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this here.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this one, placing this red here, and I believe that is gonna complete this particular dial.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
So you're finished?
Yeah,
Not
that's
gonna-
it. Yeah,
okay.
that's it.
So because each of the fields now contains two, and then one of them is blocked, no more tiles can be placed. So you can still use your power
Correct.
to do stuff, but this is gonna go
There.
here.
And then because I'm the one that did that, I get 2 tokens.
That's
treasures.
so bad.
4?
That's terrible. So that is one of 3 dials down.
Yes.
Again, the third one will end the game.
It'll
So
ramp
now-
up too.
Now it's back to me. Yeah, these fields are becoming much slimmer.
Much tighter, yeah.
So I have blue.
Blue.
I'm gonna remove this ability here
'Kay.
because I'm gonna use it
Okay.
and draw a different color.
All right, so
I didn't
red or
like
yellow?
blue last time.
Okay.
So I have yellow.
Okay.
I think I'll just go with
go
it
with it?
because I don't want to spend another treasure.
Sure.
And I'm gonna place it here.
Okay. Yellow goes there.
So yellow goes there. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Things are starting to fall apart for me.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Just so you know.
Okay.
I
Okay.
feel like I started off
Okay.
pretty strong
You
there.
had a really strong move when you picked up like 7 tokens.
Yeah,
or
and then things
treasures.
started moving around.
gets
I started
tight.
calculating like what's worth it
Yeah.
in terms of the spending of the treasures, and it started not working out. So
Let's see what we got here. Yellow.
yellow.
Another yellow.
Okay.
Well, since that's there, okay, so this is the only active dial.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna open up this slot here.
Okay.
And then let's go ahead and just place out this yellow. We're gonna stack it up here.
Oh, interesting.
Just like that. So that's gonna now flip this one over.
Okay.
And then these will both get flipped.
Yes.
Also.
And this one.
Um,
Are you gonna complete anything?
oh, sorry. Yeah, so I am going to, I'm gonna place this here.
Oh.
And I'm going to put out this token on top of that.
Oh.
So I'm basically saying that that section is a yellow
Okay.
with a
It
target.
has a target?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's a double stacked color. Oops.
Yep.
I'm destroying everything,
No
which is
problem.
worth 2
2.
treasures plus an additional 2 because it's a target.
Yeah,
So it's
so
4
4.
treasures. Uh-oh.
So 1, 2,
That was really bad for me.
3, and now 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my whole turn.
All right. So now it goes to me.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what we have. Please. Okay,
Red.
so we have a red. And I'm going to unlock this one
Okay.
because I'm going to use it
Draw time.
again.
Yep.
It is draw time,
Okay. So,
So-
yellow or blue. Okay,
Yellow?
Yep.
which I'm going to use.
Okay.
So let me take this back.
Where is yellow going?
I'm going to rotate this dial
Ah, interesting.
and place this here. So it's not only about the colors that you draw, but it really depends on which dials are active at the time that you
yes.
draw them.
Yeah.
Now, before I do anything else, I think I'm going to activate this ability as well. So it's going to cost 2 treasures
Okay.
because it's in the middle.
Ah, is that an orange target?
And I'm going to block it. Yes, it's an orange target. So that's a total of 5
5
treasures. 3 for the secondary color, 2
Okay.
for the target.
So I'm gonna give you a 5 piece right
Okay.
here. There we go.
Thank you. The 5 piece is bigger
Mm-hmm.
than the others. Just trying to remember that. All right. And that is that. I'm going to flip this over and then I'm going to complete a shape
Shape.
using a feathered token.
Oh, nice. Like I did. Yeah, it's good.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to, especially this late in the game.
You gotta use. I mean, it's literally free to use it, so you might as well use it. Yeah.
You might as well use it. The first one at least.
first
the
one,
second
yeah.
one's going to cost you. So this is just a straight line.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say this is the straight line
Okay.
because I have a different color.
so you're
in this
omitting the
position.
red.
I'm omitting the reds because we
saying
know it's a blue.
This is a straight line.
And I'm just going to lock in
I
that
gotcha.
orange right there.
I gotcha.
So that's going to gain me, I'm going to go with the 2 treasures.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm going to draw another card, and this is a card of the size of my choice. So let's do something
This late in the
not
game?
wild.
Yeah, 3.
Go
yeah.
with the 3.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Okay, good.
that is it. So now it goes back to
oh,
you.
to me.
And we are now nearing the end of the
All
game.
right, let's get something good.
Oh, man.
All right, we have a red.
Okay,
Do I like red?
I don't know. Unlock an ability?
Yes. Let's unlock this ability because I probably will use it.
Okay.
Okay, I will use it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and place this here, And I'm going to go ahead and rotate this inactive dial this way, the one free rotation, and I'm going to use it.
So you have to pay 2.
To...
Ooh, I hope you didn't make that mistake before.
Oh, yes.
Because you're stacking.
Sorry. Yes, because I'm stacking. So then here's another one.
Okay.
All right. So I might have done that.
You place it here.
Oh, sorry.
You might have cheated.
Maybe I did that somewhere, but I don't think I was ever in a position of going into debt to do it. But in the
it's points.
we can find out. But we can find out, and then we can add that to the score.
Yes,
we can find out later.
We'll find out later.
All right. So then let's
so
go
this
put
is
that
gonna
right
get
on top of
placed
there,
here.
which is great because that is the end of this particular dial.
It
is 2, 2, 2. And I'm going to complete this card here.
Oh,
so,
wow.
This is my big one right here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I'm saying there.
Amazing.
But I'm going to have to use this token.
Oh, that's -1.
-1, it's okay, but it's +4 to represent that purple is not the one that is belonging to this.
Can we see what you're pointing at again?
I'm pointing to yellow.
Yeah.
Then blank, we're not going to say that. Red, red, purple.
Okay, so you have to add the purple.
I have to add the purple here.
And you have to add whatever that is.
I have to add that. I have to tell you what that is. That is you ruined it early. Super early. You made it purple. Yeah. So that's that. So
You made that purple.
I don't think so. I
Yes,
think you did.
No
did
way.
I?
Yeah.
Okay. I might have. But remember, blue.
You're gaslighting
No,
me.
wait. Blue is part of green.
Okay.
Right? So I think I might have put the blue on top thinking that I would oust the red at some point. But
sure.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Blaming me.
Anyway,
so what do you get?
I get 4, which
Okay.
is nice. But then I'm going to have a -1. So that's worth 3.
Okay.
Might as well.
So 4 treasures?
Yeah, so I'm going to take a 5 and
You
give back a 1.
completed your big one. That's
Good.
amazing.
Yeah, so that was that. And then now that was the end of this dial here. So I'm going to go ahead and place this here.
Gain 1.
Gain a single.
So it's back to me, and I can technically end the game.
You could, yep.
I don't know if I like that. It doesn't really gain you anything. There are no more treasure benefits for doing that.
Yeah, you just end it.
Well, let me go ahead and draw.
Yep.
Let's see what I'm putting out. Hopefully something good. Okay, we've got a red. And I'm going to unlock this one.
Okay.
It's interesting. Well, do I want to unlock this? Maybe not.
Okay.
I'll unlock this one.
All right.
It's interesting because if I do use this dial, then you're going to be forced to use the treasure on your turn or pass.
True. Yep.
So I will. I'm going to turn it this way.
Okay.
And place this here.
Make a little purple there, huh?
Making some purple.
Okay.
And then I'm going to end my turn flipping this down, but I will also complete a shape. And I think I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to take the -1
You might as well, yeah.
to complete this.
If you can net. Oh,
It's a
look at that
wild shape. It's a big one.
Okay.
So it's like this. So we know that this is purple green. This is purple.
Okay, that's what you're saying, purple.
That's what I'm saying. That's not.
That's the thing you're blanking out.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the thing that you ruined, which is why I know you did it and not me. And then orange.
Oh, interesting.
Which is that. So that's going to score me four treasures, please.
Very good. 4 treasures.
Please have
I'm going to give
4,
you a 5.
which is really 3.
Yeah.
But who's
It's good.
counting? There you go.
I'm worried about largest contiguous, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how
I think
that goes.
I think you're getting those 4 points.
All right. We are like last 2 turns
Last two,
here, or
yeah.
maybe even last 1.
Do
So
the bag.
here you go.
All right.
Draw and spend a point to take a turn, Naveen.
I don't want it. Okay, we have blue.
Okay.
Okay, what is that going to be? So let's go ahead and unlock this.
Okay.
Ah, boy.
So you can spend. Oh, you can't. You have to use this.
I have to use that.
So you'll have to use this.
So I'm going to spend this here.
Okay.
Let's draw
A different color?
a different color. What color? This is red and what? Blue?
Blue.
Red and blue. Come on. Yellow.
Yellow. That's what you
All right,
wanted?
let's toss that back in the bag. Yep.
Okay. So you did that.
Okay, so I am going to rotate this, and then I'm going to spend, this might be foolish, I am going to spend 2 to break down the red that's here.
Should we move the red?
To remove the red.
Okay.
Okay, that goes out. Oops,
Oops.
this is there. That's fine. Everything's fine. Red's out.
Okay.
Okay,
And
then
you're
I'm going to place this
So
yellow.
you're overwriting.
Overwriting into that slot right there.
Okay.
That's a green.
So it's green.
Yes. Okay, that's going to be that.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and flip this face down.
So we play on.
We play on, and then now it's back to you. Now you can end it.
I could end it.
Yeah. The
Interesting.
bag.
Okay.
Yeah, you could end it.
Now I have to spend it. I'm in the position where I have to spend the treasure now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a yellow. I'm just going to do something simple and end it. So I'm going to remove this.
Okay.
And, oh, wait. Instead of doing that, I could draw.
You could draw.
I could draw a card
Yeah.
and see. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm not going to unlock
so she's
an
not
ability.
unlocking.
I'm just going to draw 2 cards.
So that's with this module. You can do that.
Yes.
I'll help you out here. Let's put
Oh.
this in the right spot. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw 2 cards from this deck.
2. Okay.
So I look at them both, and I
one.
keep one and put the other one at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to go with this one.
Okay.
All right, so this one goes to the bottom of the deck. And then I am going to just end it. So I'm going to rotate this way, double the yellow, and that
That'll end
completes
it.
this.
So then that goes there.
But before I place that there, I'm going to complete the newly drawn card.
Newly drawn.
So this is a
L-shaped,
L-shaped, I guess, and I'm going to go like this. So green and purple, which you already knew from here, and now yellow is a new color.
You had the double yellow there.
All right, so that's 2 treasures, and I can technically draw another one of these, but the game is ending.
It's over. Yep.
So
2
treasures.
treasures. Oh boy.
thank you. And that is it, because this dial is completely filled. So this goes out, and now the game is over.
Okay. Very good. We go into endgame
Sweating.
scoring. That was tough.
Intense.
Man.
All right, so we're going to go into endgame scoring. First things first, let's reveal our code cards.
All right.
So let's just put them at the bottom right here. What do you think about
Perfect.
that?
That sounds
so
good.
this is the orientation. There's an orientation, the symbols on the cards. So if you are playing across from each other.
Yeah, so you got the sun and the moon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we are first going to score the fields that do not have block tokens, because the ones with the block tokens were already scored mid-game.
Yep.
So I guess I'll go ahead and start with mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so starting from the top, green was correct for me. So that's 3.
Yep.
Because it's a secondary color. Yellow was correct. It's double stacked. So that's +2.
Yep.
This is another secondary color, which was correct. So that's another
Should have messed up
3.
purple. Dang.
Right? It's another 3.
Yeah,
3,
so you're
4,
at 8.
5, 6, 7, 8. Wrong, because mine was blue. This is another secondary color.
9,
That
10,
was
11.
correct. So 11. Wrong. This is blocked. This is wrong. That's also wrong. And these 2 are
11.
flipped.
Yep.
So 11.
Okay.
May I have 11?
Yeah, 11.
tokens,
Let's
please?
see if I can get you there.
Are there any 5s?
There's 2 5s and a 1.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right, so for me, it doesn't start out very good. So I needed orange. No, 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 no. Yes, but this is a target.
Yeah.
So it's a 2 high primary color with a target. So that's going to be 4.
Yeah.
So,
So let's just you'll do all your math.
yeah, sure.
So 4.
Oh, sure. I'll take.
This is supposed to be orange.
Yep.
You have purple with the target.
This is 9.
Right, because this is +5. This is supposed to be green. This is another secondary color
With the
target.
target, yep.
So that's
Another
it's
5.
So 14.
14, yeah.
Wow. This is only one single stacked
So make that
primary color.
so 15?
So +1. So 15. You scored that, and then double stacked primary is plus
2 more. So it's
2.
17.
So 17.
17. Let's see if I can make the change here.
Awful.
I don't know if I have enough change here. So I'll just remember 17 on
Or
top of what I have
what do
here.
you have there?
Let's see.
Okay, fine. We'll just remember
Okay,
17.
17, yeah.
As for the blocked fields, we're now going to validate them. So I believe I blocked these 2.
Yep.
So mine was purple in the end, and then this one was orange. So that is correct.
Yeah, and then I did yellow here at the bottom, which I did.
Okay, and
So
again,
no penalty.
If there was a penalty, that's -6. Since we're validating the block fields, let's also validate our proof tokens.
Sure.
So this is going to be validated against your actual code card.
Correct.
So I think mine are all,
Yeah, it looks good.
they're all good, right?
Yep.
Yellow? Okay, and you?
Okay, so I had blue, red,
Red?
yellow, green, red, purple.
Yes.
Okay, so no penalties
No
there.
penalties. Now we determine the largest contiguous area. I think it was a tie.
Was it a tie? So I had red, yellow, green, yellow. And
So
unfortunately, if I could made that a blue, that would have been great.
I had purple, green, purple, yellow.
Nice.
Right? So just
Yeah.
these 4.
So we both
Because-
cause problems.
I don't think any of these, they have to be contiguous.
So I needed this to be that red,
Yeah.
and you had it at a blue at one point,
Yeah.
and then you needed this to be something else, and I turned it into green. So we both kind of
You blocked it
edged
and then
each other
turned it
off,
into
yeah.
what you needed in the end.
Yeah.
So because it's a tie, nobody gets the points for them.
Okay.
Which would have been 4 bonus points, by
Yeah.
the way. And finally, we resolved our debt. So we both took debt. Oh, no, you didn't take
I
debt.
did not take that.
I
no.
took debt.
Yeah,
So it's -3
-3.
for me.
Okay.
We also have to pay for our serpent.
-1.
That's -1.
We both serpented.
And neither of us passed
No.
this game. So
Yeah.
had you passed twice, then it would have been another -1. So that is it.
Yeah.
All we have to do now is count up our tokens. You're 17
17 plus 7.
plus 7.
So that's 24.
Okay, so I have 23.
Oh, wow. 1 point?
1 point.
So tie would have been you, though.
Tie would have been me.
Tie would have been you.
Now,
because I was first player.
granted, we don't know if somebody didn't pay the full amount.
That is also true.
For his.
I really hope that was not the case, because if that is the case, Monique wins.
His treasure powers,
Yeah.
and that'll be here in a little edited.
Because even if I did that
comment,
once, it
then
goes
it
to
would have been
tie,
the
and then
difference.
you went on tiebreaker.
Yes, in the case of a tie, I would win on tiebreaker.
because I was
but
first player.
Very close game either way.
I hope I did do it, but I think I did it.
You'll know.
I probably did it.
I'll let
Shoot
you
it.
know.
Dig it.
But anyway, that is it. It was a very close game. It
Yeah.
was very tense at some points. I mean, this was a difference, I think, for you, being able to put those dials there.
You can see
That
it.
was a
Like
nice
you know when
spot.
that's going to happen. So it's like, I really wanted to go in here and
Yeah.
get this red.
Yeah.
But if I went in there too early, you could have got the 2 points.
Yeah.
So I was like
laser
really trying to
focused
wait. Yeah.
on trying to get these to happen and getting the contiguous scoring, and I didn't
Yes.
even get that in the end. So
And I
that
was
was unfortunate.
I was also trying to not telegraph my targets. I wanted to just like sneak in there and then not. But
Right.
had you just undone something, that could have been really, really bad.
Yeah, and I don't even know if some of the payments that I made paid out in the end, because
Yeah.
you have to pay a little bit in order to gain. You know what I mean? Like, especially this action, I think I took twice maybe,
Yeah,
where I
I think
actually
so.
had to pay both treasures.
Yeah, it's 4 points. Yeah.
So, and that was my drawing
Yeah.
skills. So, anywho, that is Shrine Duel of Light with the Radiant Shapes module, which again is optional. So if you
Right.
want a simpler game, you do not have to play with this at all in the shape cards. You can just sort of duel it out with your codes. And if you'd like to add on an additional layer, there's also the Eternal Glyphs module that contains these lenses with glyph patterns on them. So instead of just matching regular colors, you'll also have to match
Symbols.
the glyph symbols.
Yep.
And you'll also have all three of these spaces open rather than just one in the offering. And similar to combining colors, with this expansion module, you can also combine glyphs. So
Yeah.
you can make various symbol combinations.
More to think about. Well, there you have it. That is Shrine Duel of Light. Now, we don't know if I won or not. We will
For
find
now,
out.
you did.
For right now, I did. But man, I feel like I did it. I feel like I cheated.
We'll find out.
Yeah. But if you have any questions about anything you saw here, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Again, this game is currently on Kickstarter, so there's a link in the description, which you can check out. Thank you all so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.